Hello dear students, welcome to the online teaching of English class first year. I am Saga Hussain. I am a lecturer in English in Islamia Inter College, Etawah. Today I am going to start the 12th paragraph of the lesson discovering truth. The saga continues, but before I start teaching you the next paragraph, I would like to recall the summary of the paragraphs you have already studied. Here it is. King Tut died as a teenager. He was the last king of a powerful family that had ruled Egypt for centuries. Howard Carter tried to loosen the reins using the heat of the sun, but in vain. In 1968, an anatomy professor x-rayed the mummy and revealed a startling fact that the breastbone and the front ribs of the mummy were missing. Amenhotep III was a powerful king. He was succeeded by Amenhotep IV. King Tut's mummy was one of the first mummies to be scanned after Ismen-Khaker, a very young Tutankhaten, took the throne. But he soon changed his name to Tutankhamen. He was a living image, a living example of Amun. He died out of the blue. He died quite unexpectedly. This is all about the paragraph. Now this is the very first paragraph, paragraph number 12. Regardless of his fame and the speculations about his fate, Tut is one mummy among many in Egypt. Regardless of his fame, King Tut did not care for his fame. He was quite careless about his fame and the speculations about his fate. He also did not care about the opinion formed by the people about his fate. Tut is one mummy among many in Egypt. There were several mummies in Egypt and King Tut's is one of them. How many? The question is, how many mummies were there? Nobody knows. The writer says that nobody can tell the exact number of the mummies. The Egyptian Mummy Project, which began an inventory in late 2003. Inventory, a written list. So it was the Egyptian Mummy Project which started counting the number of mummies in late 2003, has recorded almost 600 so far, and it has enlisted about 600 mummies so far, and is still counting. It means that the counting is still going on. The next phase, the next step in this direction is scanning the mummies with a portable CT scan. So the next step in the direction was to count the mummies with the help of a portable CT machine donated by the National Geographic Society. And you know, this portable CT machine was donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens, which was its manufacturer also. King Tut is one of the first mummies to be scanned. I think you have read this fact several times in the lesson. In death, as in life, moving regally ahead of his countrymen. Regally means royally, in a royal manner. So when King Tut was alive, he led the people of his country royally, in a royal manner. Try to understand, they are students. When King Tut was alive, he led his countrymen, he led the people of his country in a royal manner. Similarly, when he died, when he departed from this world, that is, even after his departure from this world, he led his countrymen in a royal manner. Okay? Now this is the way. Now then let us move forward. Let us try to have a look at the difficult words used in the paragraph. Speculations, the act of forming opinions. Inventory, a written list. Now the summary of the paragraph. King Tut did not care for his name, fame and fate. He is one of the first mummies that had been scanned. As he led them in life, similarly he led them in death also. Now, dear students, class work for you. Here is a question. Please have a look at it. What is the number of mummies so far recorded by the Egyptian Mummy Project? It's a very easy question and I think you can answer it very well. It has recorded about 600 mummies so far. Okay? Now, next, paragraph number 13. A CT machine scanned the mummy head to toe. You know, a CT machine scanned the mummy from top to bottom. Tut was scanned from top to bottom. Tut's mummy was scanned from top to bottom, creating 1,700 digital X-ray images. And this machine created about 1,700 pictures, 1,700 X-ray images in cross-section. Tut's head scanned in 0.62 millimeter slices to register its intricate structures. Register, to record. Its intricate means complicated structures, takes on eerie detail in the resulting image. Takes on, it's a phrase and it means to assume the shape. Take on means to assume the shape. Eerie, the word eerie. Eerie means strange, mysterious and frightening. Eerie is a beautiful word and difficult also. So always try to understand the meaning of this word. Eerie means strange, mysterious and frightening. So when the machine produced the resulting image, it was extremely wonderful, mysterious and frightening. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, that is, the entire body of King Tut was recorded in the same manner, in the same way. A team of specialists, specialist means expert, a team of experts in radiology, forensics and anatomy. What do you mean by the word radiology? Radiology means a branch of medical science dealing with the use of radioactivity in medical examination. This is radiology. Once again, a branch of medical science dealing with the use of radioactivity in medical examination. Forensics, relating to the information about a crime, relating to the discovery of information about a crime. This is forensics. And anatomy, you have read this word several times in the lesson. Anatomy, science dealing with the structure of the body. Anatomy began to probe the secrets. So there came a team of experts in several branches in radiology, forensics and anatomy. So there came a team of experts in radiology, forensics and anatomy, and it began to probe the secrets of Tut's death. It began to probe the secrets of his death. That the winged goddesses of a gilded burial shrine protected for so long. Okay, now let us move forward. Now have a look at the difficult words used in the paragraph. Register. Register means to watch. Intricate, complicated. Take on, to assume something. Now the summary of the paragraph. A CT machine made a scanning of the mummy of Tut from top to bottom. The resulting image produced a strange and wonderful picture. Now, dear students, classwork for you. There is a question. Try to understand the question first. What was the result of the scanning done by a CT machine? Once again, what was the result of the scanning done by a CT machine? The answer to the question: as a result, a strange picture was produced by the scanning of a CT machine. A strange, mysterious and frightening picture was produced by the scanning of a CT machine. Okay, now let us move forward. This is paragraph number 14. The night of the scan, workman carried Tut from the tomb in his box. During the night of the scanning, workman carried Tut from his tomb in a box. Now he was taken away from the tomb in a box. Like pall bearers, they climbed a ramp. Pall bearers. Pall bearers, a person who carries a coffin. Pall bearers. They climbed a ramp. Ramp, a sloping surface. So the workmen did the work of pall bearers just in the manner of pall bearers. They carried Tut from his tomb. So they climbed a ramp. They crossed over a sloping surface and a flight of stairs into the swirling sand outside. Swirling means moving around quickly in a circular manner. You know, swirling, moving around quickly in a circular way. So into the swirling sand outside. So a heap of sand was lying outside. They reached the heap of sand, the particles of which were moving around quickly in a circular way, then rose on a hydraulic lift into the trailer. Then with the help of a hydraulic lift, they reached the trailer that held the scanner. 20 minutes later, two men emerged. Emerged means came out. After 20 minutes, two men came out, sprinted for an office nearby. Sprinted, ran at full speed. The word sprint. You might have heard a word sprinter, racer. You know, P.T. Usha was a sprinter. Sprinted, ran at full speed for an office nearby. So, 20 minutes later, after 20 minutes, two men came out. They ran at full speed towards an adjacent office. Adjacent, nearby. They ran at full speed towards an adjacent office and returned with a pair of white plastic fence. And they returned with two white plastic fence. Pair means two. The $1 million scanner had quit. Quit. Give up. Quit. give up. The $1,000,000 scanner had quit. $1,000,000 scanner means the scanner was extremely expensive. It was very costly. So the writer says that the scanner, which was extremely expensive, had broken down. It had stopped functioning because of scent in a cooler fan. Because a particle of scent had entered a cooler fan. So it was a particle of fan which obstructed the functioning of the scanner. This is the reason. No, it was the particle of scent which obstructed the functioning of the scanner. Though it was extremely costly. It was a $1,000,000 scanner. Okay? I think you must have got the point. Curse of the Pharaoh joked a guard nervously. A guard joked. He laughingly said, and what did he say? Perhaps it is due to the curse of the Pharaoh. He means to say that the scanner has stopped functioning due to the curse of the Pharaoh. Now let us move forward. Have a look at the difficult words of the paragraph. Pallbearers, those who carry coffins, ramp a sloping surface, emerged, came out. The summary of the paragraph. On the night of the scanning of King Tut, workmen carried him from the tomb in his box. But the scanner had broken down at a critical juncture due to a particle of scent. Actually, the phrase break down means to stop functioning. Yeah. Next, paragraph number 15. Eventually, the substitute fans worked well enough to finish the procedure. Eventually means in the end. The substitute fans worked so well that they completed the process. After checking that no data had been lost, the technicians turned Tut over to the workmen. The technicians turned over means handed over. The technicians handed over Tut to the workmen. He was handed over to the workmen. King Tut was handed over to the workmen who carried him back to his tomb. And then he was carried back to his tomb. By whom? By the workmen. Less than 3 hours after, he was removed from his coffin. The Pharaoh again rested in peace where the funerary priests had laid him so long ago. Now, less than 3 hours after about 3 hours, he was removed from his coffin. He was taken out of his coffin, and the Pharaoh again rested in peace. King Tut was again laid to rest, where he was buried by the funerary priest several thousands years back. Okay? Now let us move forward to paragraph 2. The word meanings of the paragraph. Eventually, at the end, turned over, handed over. Now the summary of the paragraph you have read. Finally, the substitute fans worked so well that the process was soon completed. After examining, the technicians handed it over to the workmen. Now, the next paragraph number 16. Back in the trailer, a technician pulled up astonishing images of truth. Back in the trailer, when the trailer returned, a technician pulled up, he sketched, he drew. The technician sketched some astonishing images, some wonderful images of truth on the screen of a computer. And then a grey head took shape. A grey colored head assumed shape from a scattering of pixels. What do you mean by pixel? I think a computer teacher will explain you well. Pixel means a minute area of illumination on a display screen. Pixel means a minute area of illumination on a display screen. A grey head took shape from a scattering of pixels, and the technician spun and tilted it in every direction. Spun means moved around. Tilted, put in a slanting position, in every direction, in all the directions. He moved it around and put it in a slanting position, but in all directions. Neck vertebrae appeared as clearly as in an anatomy class. So neck vertebrae means pieces of bone. So neck vertebrae was seen as clearly as it is seen in an anatomy class. Other images revealed a hand. So among other images, other pictures, a hand, several views of the rib cage, and a transection of the skull. So these pictures were also visible, but for now the pressure was off. But at present all the tension ebbed out. All the tension was released. But for now the pressure means tension. All the tension was released. All the tension ebbed out. E-double-B-E-D. Sitting back in his chair, Zahi Hawass smiled. Zahi Hawass was sitting in his chair. He smiled and visibly relieved. He appeared to be much comforted. He appeared to be much relieved that nothing had gone seriously wrong. And he said that perhaps nothing had gone seriously wrong. I didn't sleep last night, not for a second, he said. So he said that he had not slept the previous night. If you change it into an indirect speech, you get the answer. He said that he had not slept the previous night, not even for a second, and he was so much worried. He was very much worried. But then he thought he would go and sleep. Okay? Now, let us move forward. The difficult words used in the paragraph. Pixel, a minute area of illumination on display screen. Tilted, moved into a sloping position. Now the summary of the paragraph. When the trailer returned, a technician sketched surprising pictures of truth on a computer screen. Neck vertebrae appeared as clearly as in an anatomy class. Zahi Hawass said, I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep. Okay? Now, paragraph number 17. By the time we left the trailer, up to the time they had left the trailer, descending metal stairs, they came down from the metal stairs and reached the sandy ground. The wind had stopped. The wind had stopped blowing. The winter air lay cold and still. The air was cold and still. Like death itself, in this valley of the departed, the valley of the death, just above the entrance to Tut's tomb stood Orion, the constellation. Orion means the constellation, And constellation means a group of stars that the ancient Egyptians knew as the soul of Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Osiris means the god of the afterlife, watching over the boy king. Okay, now this is paragraph number 17. Next, constellation, a group of stars. The summary of the paragraph. After the observations, when they left, the wind had stopped and there was complete silence. Just above the entrance to King Tut's tomb stood Orion, the constellation, watching over the boy king. Okay? Now, it's all for today. I think you must have enjoyed the teaching of the paragraphs. Here you see that your lesson is over. You must try to read the lesson again and again and prepare the questions given at the end. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a nice day.